on. Ta-da! All right, we're trying some different camera angles here today. All right, trying from the far side. So this is more of an experiment than anything. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming. We'll see. We'll see, okay? I'm going to punch it up over here, see what it looks like. Ta-da! Through the magic of the internet. We're here. 12 people already? Come on. That is way too much pressure. Okay? I have no idea how this is going to sound because we're doing Wi-Fi through the Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi through the Wi-Phone, Wi-Fi through the iPhone. I tried to catch it in time, I couldn't catch it. Well, let's just play and see what happens. All right? Let's just play. Hey, Bobby Vincent's here. No pressure. Yeah, it's a different perspective. This is called Fat Steve perspective. Bobby, how does it sound? To the new studio. What's up with the personal lesson? Yeah, a couple people emailed me about lessons. I need to get back to you. I apologize. Things are really busy these days. I spent some time trying to get the lighting to not be all overblown, so I just put the camera over there. And yeah, you know how it is here. We're just trying stuff, just messing around, just experimenting, lad. So Victor Littman back. Lighting is improved this way. Nice. Better lights. Look, you guys are all like, better lights. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's just play a little bit. My hands are feeling a little worn out today, so we'll see. Sounds great. Still kicking ass show. All right, let's do some, I was reading comments on the laptop, Alex, okay? Let's do some playing, see what happens, okay? independence with that left hand against the ching, 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 ching. I'm thinking like a dat dat dish, dat dish, you know, but like I'm having trouble pulling it off. I can't even do the like without stacking it with the bass drum. Drum machine stream where you get to watch me suck and work this stuff out. See, like, I gotta get that lined up. Just doing those off beats, just the upbeats against the samba bass drum. Towards the end there, not horrible. See, that's me like working it out. Slow it down, play quieter. You know, try to play the stuff that's in my head, you know, but like that kind of stuff. Again, against the foot, try not to like get the foot too heavy. Like these are the things I'm thinking about, and it may not even come out, but like this is what I'm trying for, you know. So a lot of people say like, oh, when people make videos and they stream, they only show the stuff that they're good at. Like that was kind of motivating me because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna suck in front of people right now and just kind of work this out. So that's what that was. Anyway, if you're just joining us, my name is Steve Holmes. We're streaming live from North Hollywood in my drum room on Wi-Fi with an iPhone. So it's what we call the lo-fi stream until we get things upgraded. Let's read some comments, shall we? I think there's some people next door too, so we might hear some like singing and whatever. What are you guys saying? Let's see. Lots of comments. How many people are watching? Let's see that. It says 36. Well, welcome all 36 of you. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Looking forward to the new studio plans. Me too. Lighting is improved, better lights, sounds okay. I was reading the comments off the laptop. Alex Anderson making fun of me, that's very funny. Let's see, let's do this. Let's go to church. Okay, so this is comments from the initial solo. Netherlands. Steve, how close is your hi-hat to interfering with the striking of the rack tom with the traditional left hand? Any setup compromise here? Having a big dilemma with that compromise. I don't really have any issues between the hi-hat and the rack tom, like with the left hand. No, I don't have any issues like that. I mean, my hi-hat is pretty close to the snare drum, like as you see. But I don't know. I don't have any specific information for you on that one, Bobby. I wish I did, because you come and hang out like all the streams, and I want to be you know, helpful to you. But I don't have any issues with like the left hand getting around. I did not see the Chicoria thing with the electric band yet. I plan on watching that soon. Let's see. Left hand gold, thank you for the compliments. Let's see, someone's warmed up. Alternate and buzz technique. What are you talking about? Are you doing it? It's my samba really sucks. Up tempo. Let's see, show. Let's see. Someone. Your samba is embarrassing all of the U.S. That's so true. Thanks for sharing how you go about working out. That is how I go about working out. Backbeats on the floor, toms on the cymbals. Yes, I love that stuff. Suggesting as you get more proficient with it. Thanks for showing us how to work stuff out. Did you ever study with Shelly Mann? No. I know of Shelly Mann, but I'm not like intimately familiar with his work. Chuck Flores was one of the teachers at MI when I went there, and Chuck, I think, studied with Shelly. He talked about Shelly a lot. What pedals am I using? I'm using the Yamaha pedals. Whatever their latest model was, like 5 years ago. I'm not terribly picky on pedals. I mean, I like my Yamaha pedal, but I mean, I never play that, you know, too many notes with my feet. So I'm not terribly concerned with that. Let's try accenting the last note on the right hand, ostinato. I will take that into consideration. See, I need help with my samba, you guys. Steve Holmes says, there technical benefits of learning and playing traditional grip. Oh man, can of worms. Your samba is embarrassing the rest of us with inferior skills. Oh, I see what you're saying. I disagree. My samba is horrible. You guys want to talk about traditional grip? I mean, like, the benefit, I think one of the benefits with traditional grip is like, and first of all, like, I don't think that one is better than the other. Okay, let's just start there. I think that, you know, there's a lot of guys that are, you know, a lot of the really good players that play ridiculous stuff that not many guys can do, like with both grips. So I don't think that either one is better than the other. Obviously, you know, traditional grip has different strengths and weaknesses versus match grip. One of the things I like about it is that with match grip, like if I open my hand, like I'm going to drop the stick because one of the responsibilities of match grip is to hold the stick. So if I open my hand, like the stick drops out. That's not the case with traditional grip. Like if you get, you know, decent with it, you kind of cradle your hand, you put your hand in a relaxed position. Like I can open my hand and the stick's not going to fall out, right? And so I kind of like that. Like in the most relaxed position, the stick is kind of sitting in the hand, you know, as opposed to like I have, you know, I don't have as much chance of dropping it in that regard, you know. So that's one of the things I like. You know, the style of drumming that I really like is like, you know, a lot of ghost notes, a lot of soft notes with traditional grip. I think traditional grip accommodates soft notes. Actually, you know, I prefer to accommodate with traditional grip, I should say. I don't want to say that one's better than the other. You know, there's tons of guys that can play lots of soft notes with match grip, but I kind of like, you know, the feeling of hitting the drum with the top of the stick, you know, through kind of like this kind of motion, as opposed to like, you know, this kind of motion. You know, we kind of have to bring your hand up a little bit more, you know, whereas this, you know, that's kind of not the case, you know, and as you guys know, like, you know, the style that I'm into is all about like filling in a lot of notes with the left hand, you know. Man, I'm all about the samba today, like my body just wants to play it. toms versus 3. Like I used to have 3 rack toms, you know, or 2 rack toms on a floor. And I used to constantly, like on the count of 4, I would play like 60 note triplets. Then it would be like 1, 2, 2, and 2. Like 2 notes per drum, like and I, you know, obviously I can't do that anymore. So I'm like 4 and 2. And at high tempos, like it can be tough, you know. You know, or these days I'll try to turn on, like, instead of 16 note triplets, turn on like 30 seconds, right? Like that's one of the benefits of like really knowing your subdivisions, you know, because I know while I'm playing, it's okay, if I want to try for 30-second notes, then I need like 4 and 4 within 1 quarter note, you know, like sit and work that stuff out for like hours and hours and hours, and you know, I don't have that kind of discipline. I just kind of get it to a place where I'm happy with it. And to be honest, like, I kind of like the novelty of going for something and getting to the finish line, but just barely. You know, I think there's cool energy to seeing someone like go for something and it takes 100%, and that big, like that, if you make it like that release is really cool, as opposed to someone that, like, you know, has it mastered and it's just like, yes, you know, like I don't know, maybe I just tell myself that to make myself feel better for not practicing. Come on, that was funny. All right, what else you got? What else you got? Let's see, if anyone's interested in supporting the channel, supporting the stream, you can click that little smiley face or that little $sign. They're called supers, super comments, super stickers. You can donate to the channel through those. We're trying to get some new microphones here, get some new cameras. We're getting out of the shed. We're getting a new shed. We're gonna upgrade everything. I'm gonna stream through the laptop, like using Logic. I'm gonna try to get like a MacBook Pro, and we're gonna take it to the what I call the 2.0 level. So if you want to support the channel, you want to leave a donation, feel free to click those buttons. That would be fantastic. Let's see. Play both grips mostly matched. For me, one benefit of traditional grips, you comfortably practice a lot in places it's matched is uncomfortable. Yes, I agree. Learning both grips is not suggested. I also agree. I would just like pick a lane and stay in that lane and just master that lane. Jay Gee is talking about often practice rudiments over the oversized mouse pad on my computer desk with an overhand grip. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can set your drums up at different heights and whatever angles like accommodate your grip the best, but, you know, play both. Let's see what else. Playing with passion. The band Altered is still existing, says Ben Krista. Ben's asking about my trio Altered. Yes, Altered still exists. The last thing we did was was that collaboration video that's on my channel for a tune that Jeff wrote called May 32nd. So check that out if you haven't seen it. Altered is myself. John Flitcraft plays bass. He lives you know, in California, but he's far away from here, so we don't get to like just kind of jam, like, you know, spur of the moment kind of thing. Jeff Miley is the guitar player. Jeff's an amazing guitar player. He's one of my favorite players. Great songwriter. Those guys keep me humble. They bring in these compositions that really force me outside of my comfort zone, which is great. It's all about being outside of your comfort zone to push you to get better, you know. So yes, Ben, Altered still exists. Thank you for asking. Let's see, way back, I learned the triplet left, right foot, says Nikki. Way back, I learned the triplet as left, right foot. Left, right foot. Is that the common way for most people? Right, left foot? The reason I ask is because so many licks use this building block. Vinny Smith, hi from Australia. I'm pretty new behind the kit. I was wondering what some of the early most beneficial techniques or even tunes you learned. Oh man, big questions here. Okay, how do I say, is it Nikhil Sahoni? Sorry, I'm butchering these names, I apologize. You know, triplet sticking, like there is no right sticking. I mean, instead of saying triplets, like you say groups of 3, like between your hands and your feet, you know? Like what you want to do is, if you'll notice when you play that stuff is when you're playing a fill that's like 4 counts long with a 3-note grouping, you know, ideally you want to pay attention to like what hand lands on 1, you know, and you want to pay attention to like what note, what hand is on. You know, for example, like I tend to lean towards, you know, like I did that video on my YouTube channel. I forget the name of it. It basically goes over like this Steve Gadd sticking, and it has a 3-note grouping with the hand and 2 feet, but it's like foot right left, and you know the foot is on the downbeat. You know, so if the foot is on the downbeat, you know, Nikhil, then that means that, like, you know, obviously you're gonna play like a cymbal on 1, so you gotta get used to this. You know, this depends on like what subdivision you're playing, you know, where you're starting, this kind of thing. But that's the point. That's the important thing you want to pay attention to, is like when you're playing these 3-note groupings, so people just kind of turn on, especially if you're just starting out, you know, and you see like any John Bonham clip, you know, you're just like, oh, I can do that. You know, but then you get into like, you know, foot right left, foot left right. Left, right. You know, the different combinations. So you want to get comfortable with that, but you also want to, again, like, what subdivision am I playing? You know, where is the quarter note in relation to what I'm doing? How do I get out of this, you know, gracefully and seamlessly, so that, you know, we're not interrupting the groove? Because your fills have to groove too. You know, when someone first said that to me a long time ago, I was like, whoa, my fills have to groove too. You know, just because you're playing a fill, it doesn't mean the good feeling groove can stop. You know, your fills have to convey time in a good feeling way, the same way that your groove does. And I don't always do that, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Folks are curious about the cymbals. Everyone always asks about the cymbals. Let's go over today's starting lineup. On ride cymbal, we've got number 20. Custom Dry Light Ride from Zildjian. All right. Let's see, right hand crush number 1. We've got number 17. These are the inches, by the way. This is my joke. Just play along. Number 17, A Custom Crash. Let's hear it for A Custom Crash over here. Right hand crash number 2 is number 16, Custom Special Dry Crash, which I love because it sounds like a China, but it kind of isn't a China. Let's see, center field, number 10, A Custom EFX from Zildjian with holes in it. A Custom EFX. Main crash, left field, we've got number 16, Custom Session Crash, K. All Zildjian cymbals. Playing left field, left field, I guess, is the Zildjian Azuka Latin Multi-Crash, 15-inch with sizzles. Hi-hats, these hi-hats are great. I'm going to show you guys my hi-hats. Oh, there goes my microphone. Man. See, this is why I gotta get out of here, right? This top hi-hat cymbal is a friggin' 1980s 13-inch new beat that I got for Christmas when I was in junior high school. This thing is very old, it has a lot of sentimental value, and I think it sounds fantastic. Let's see. On the bottom, we've got a custom special dry hi-hat bottom. These are 13s, okay? So this is what we're doing. I feel there's a little bit of a Jerry Lewis vibe going on here. Steve says as microphones fall down. Ooh. Come on, you weren't expecting to laugh this much, all right? Were you? Maybe? All right, what do we got? Oh, Grumpy with the $5 donation. Thank you very much, Grumpy. Left hand, let's see. Gad does a bunch of stuff. Oh, Jeff with the $5 donation. Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it. Let's see, what else we got? Match grip, comfortable, so I'm pretty sure you're behind the kit. Taking your tunes you learned. I mean, thanks again. Vinny, just like, I grew up, I mean, like, because of my age, like, I learned from, like, 1980s rock and roll and stuff, and that might not be your thing, you know, but, like, with YouTube, like, you can watch guys play and just you know, I don't know, pick music that has, you know, drumming that inspires you, and try to figure it out, whether you can do it or not. You know, musical inspiration is a big motivator. That's what drives me. That's what drove me when I was young. You know, I was not approaching drums from an academic standpoint at all, initially. You know, my heroes kind of guided me in terms of what I wanted to do, what I wanted to sound like, the things I wanted to learn. You know, and if that's not your thing, then, you know, just figure out what kind of drumming you want to get good at, what style, and, you know, do some Googling, find out who the best guys are at that style. You know, there's only so many, you know, and just dig into that stuff and just practice. Let's see. So many possibilities. Jeff, thank you very much. Happy to hear the good things about Altered. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with those guys again. Left hand foot, Sabian, Steve's stand-up vibe tonight. Love it. Oh man, honestly, it's like, you know, you just gotta let go. You can't be too like stuff knocking over. Like, just go with it. You know, just have fun. So, let's play some more. If you guys have any questions, type them in, and we'll chat some more. Okay. For now, I'm just gonna work on some, like, you know, kind of slower 30-second note phrasing. You know, just against a quarter note. Double foot. See, something else I do if I'm working something out, I'll stop playing it like all over the kit. I just play it on one surface and just, you know, sound it out, if you will, you know, on one surface. isn't it? And it's funny because like I'm playing this really fast stuff like paradiddle, 16-note triplet stuff, and it's working out. But then like I get to the groove and the groove will, it's like I can play the fancy shit but not the groove. Woo! Cheers! Thanks for hanging out. And I would play this 30-second note flurry at the end, and I don't know, part of me thinks that stuff sounds cheesy, but I just end up kind of getting lured into it anyway, you know? Yeah, I like that stuff, but I don't like being that kind of stuff, but I kind of dig the, stuff and keep that quarter note like not moving. Like it totally moved there at the end, and I caught that. It's like bumming me out. The two triplets before the last two eighth note triplets here, but the last one is like with the ope on the high end. Thanks for hanging out, folks. My name is Steve Holmes. We're streaming live from North Hollywood on my iPhone over Wi-Fi. It's called the Lo-Fi stream. Let's see what folks are saying. The chat has been disconnected. Maybe the whole stream got disconnected. Oh, I see Go and Practice is here. That guy's really good. It's having trouble reconnecting. All right, we're changing Wi-Fi connections here. These guys sound pretty good next door. Oh man, Wi-Fi is having a problem here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. It's a shot of me holding a laptop. All right, we're going to back up here. We're going to back up and read some comments, all right? Special try. Okay, we're starting. Slowly start moving. Snare is still 2 and 4. All right, I think I'm going to get one of those custom special dry crashes. Yeah, they're great. Depends on your point of reference. Let's see, but yeah, I'm 8th, easier along with the 2. Health review. Isaac Lee says, Steve is in God mode today. Isaac Lee, how are you, sir? Long time no see. Blues, yes. The hi-hat, 1, 2, 3, 4. The hi-hat never stops. It's all about keeping the hi-hat going. Let's see, such a great stream. Thank you very much, Vinny Smith. Steve, ever come through North Carolina for a lesson? No, I have not been in North Carolina. Oh, let's see, Nick Hill Sahoni with the $10 donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Anyone that's interested in supporting the stream or donating, hit the smiley, the super sticker, or the little $sign there. We're putting together a Shed Stream Upgrade Fund. And we really appreciate the support. Let's see, Bobby, drum tuning sounds really great. Man, yeah, these drums, you just tune them like just the minimal amount and they just sing, you know. I love these drums. Yamaha Phoenix or PHX. These are the drums, all right. The snare is a pearl brass. I've got a bunch of snares, Yamaha, done all kinds of snares. But the toms and the kick are Yamaha Phoenix. Really appreciate you doing an online lesson. I've learned a great deal from you. I love all the jazz phrasing. Says Rich Spicer. Thank you very much, Rich. Let's see, Jason Glassman says Holmes kicks ass. Thank you, Jason. Those triple things sound better when you add some random doubles. Okay, hell yeah. Can you talk about those flam triplets? Flam triplets. Yeah, not sure what exactly you're referring to there. Maybe we'll revisit that. I'm jealous of that donation. Okay, Go and Practice says, oops. Flam triplets of the hi-hat from the snare. Oh, okay. Are those same one Vinny does? Says Go and Practice, Swiss triplets. Man, you know, I'm just kind of at the point where I'm just kind of getting that happening a little bit. Like, you saw me kind of working it out with the ride. But, you know, like if you get comfortable with something, like with a certain sticking, once you get good enough with it, you can kind of just turn on the reverse sticking and you're not even sure what that reverse sticking is. You're just kind of doing it. But let's get through some comments and maybe we'll talk about that stuff. Let's see, odd time practice. I practiced a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I practiced some in 5 and in 7, and I've worked on that stuff, you know. Isaac Lee says, I'm the king of creating my own 1. Yeah, join the club. Let's see, practicing and soloing over 9, 4, 7, 8, 17, 8. Make finding the 1 related to child's play when changing back through the old 4, 4. Well, I mean, practicing any odd beater, like I always say the same thing. Like, I need to program a drum machine with a really big emphasis on 1. And I just start simple. I start in what I call the shallow end of the pool. And I just kind of play simple grooves. And then maybe introduce some fills. And the whole time I'm like, am I with it? Am I with the click? Am I on 1? Do I feel this time signature? Yes. And then it just take more chances while you can answer yes to all those questions. And as soon as it's like, whoa, I'm not sure what's going on, then ease off. Like, play less complicated fills. Like, just remove notes. You know, that's how you do it.
That's how I did it. In addition to like any book that you want, like, you know, the go-to odd meter book is like Ralph Humphrey, Even in the Odds. He talks about playing an odd meter, but he also talks about playing odd groupings in 4. It's a fantastic book. Let's see, I'd be killing a reggae band. What? Hope you're not talking to me. Go and practice. Ran to bar 3 in there, bit back, yes. Snare sounds shit hot, thank you. Let's hear some Vinny Subdivision shuffles. Steve doesn't use a slave pedal. I have a double pedal. Left foot, right foot. Steve, do you know any other players who play at your level and hold down a day job? Yeah, me. I have a day job. Man, the music industry is so crazy, you guys. Like, the expectations of people making a living playing music is like, everything's up for grabs. It's super crazy right now. I'm certainly no authority on that stuff. I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I got, you know, like everybody else. Having said that, it's a great time to be in the video game industry. Let's see. Are you going to make an Only Flams account? That's hysterical. Isaac Lee with the $2 donation. Thank you, Isaac. Brother hugs to you, sir. Let's see. Are you going to make a Flams only account? That's really funny. Let's see. You still have the Street Fighter 2. Oh, Kurt, back in the house. Kurt, are you still here, buddy? Still the Street Fighter 2 cartridge that sped up the game. You guys, Kurt was my roommate at music school. A lot of good memories. We played a lot of Street Fighter 2 on Nintendo when we weren't practicing. All right, we're all caught up with comments, I believe. Isaac, thank you for the donation. Anyone else interested in donating, hit that super button. All right? Look at this. I got masking tape on the mics. We're getting a new drum shed. It's going to be Drum Shed 2.0. It's going to be great. If I can figure out how to get this stuff happening. Have you guys seen Dave Wemple stream like on weekends? He's literally like changing cameras under his throne with some camera controller, streaming through Pro Tools, play along tracks. He's got a friggin' a talkie mic, which I actually have, but I use the talkie mic for, you know, my YouTube videos, not so much for the live thing. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that happening when we upgrade everything. All right. Chat is disconnected. Let's see if we can reconnect to the chat. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. We're streaming live from my iPhone in North Hollywood. This is my drum room, my messy drum room. This is where we practice. This is where we shed. This is where we try not to suck. So we're going to reconnect. Let's reconnect here. There's 3 different Wi-Fi connections in this place, and one of them is really good, and I try to leave that for the iPhone for the actual stream, but the other 2 I use for actually watching the stream, so I'm not taking up both connections, and they're flaky at best. And it's funny because I watch these streams, and I always hate when people are like, oh, let's see if we can get them. It's like basically you're just watching someone on a computer, which is so boring, and so I'm totally being that guy right now. All right, let's see. Oh, go and practice with the $5 donation. Go and practice. Bro hugs to you. You guys, Go and Practice has a series of books that have tons of great information. Check out his channel. Support his channel. He's great. Oh, Bobby Vincent is heading out. See you later, Bobby. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Can we hear some swing at some point? Says Willie P. I guess. Traditional grip. Yes. Let's play some swing stuff, I guess. Willie's asking. Sorry, I said Willie. It says Will. I assume you don't like to be called Willie, so I won't. I have a whole video on my YouTube channel about like just, you know, various swing recommendations. You know, so I would definitely recommend you check that out. In the meantime, like just general tips for playing swing. Like the thing that fascinates me about swing playing is like, you know, step 1 is getting like basic independence going, right, against the swing pattern at different tempos, and that's hard enough. But then, like, from a drumming standpoint, not even talking about playing, like, you know, to a form or, you know, getting familiar with tunes or anything, but, like, you know, doing what I call, like, producing in real time, you know, being aware of your faders, like your ride cymbal fader. Like, when I say fader, I mean, like, your volume fader, like ride cymbal, snare drum, bass drum, hi-hat, you know, all your limbs, and just being aware of, you know, where they are in relationship to each other. I try to have my ride cymbal out front volume-wise because that's the drive, that's the swing, right? Everything else kind of goes kind of underneath of it from a volume standpoint. But it has to feel good too, and it's not going to feel good if it's too loud in relation to the rest of the band, in relation to the venue that you're playing, you know. Playing all different kinds of like little places that are kind of a drag for drummers because you just want to bash, right? Like those gigs, you know, have been so helpful, you know, because it forces you to play quiet. Like if you're interested in making music, which I am, you're playing with other musicians, it's like, you know, playing drums is difficult, but like playing and listening to the music, gelling with the music, and making sure that you're not playing too loud, that's like the advanced stuff, you know what I mean? And I can't necessarily demonstrate that stuff now, but, you know. Saying that that's like an example of good swing playing, but what I'm trying to do there is kind of like live in that loose swing place, which is subdivision technically, you know, but I'm trying not to strictly adhere to it, you know what I mean? I'm trying to like kind of get loose with it, you know, kind of Elvin-y, if you will. And you know, I like to practice like 4 on the floor, you know, and get that to a place where like the notes are sitting on top of each other, like in a way that I think sounds okay, you know, because it took a while to get there, because like just doing 4 on the floor, you know, and cheeking 2 and 4 with the hi-hat, and doing like quarter notes on the ride cymbal, like getting that to feel good, like that's challenging, you know, and this is like people are gonna get caught up in what I call like, you know, checkbox practicing, you know, where it's like a list, and it's like, well, I practiced this thing, I don't need to work on it ever again. It's like, no. Like, it's a skill you get to keep working on, you know? You know, and like, you know, bring up your foot, bring up the, you know, bring up the faders and bring them down to make sure you shuffle, you know, you have control over that. Like, you got to be aware of that stuff and be able to control that stuff whenever you want, you know. But like this is the groove. The cymbal is the groove for me, and it's a shame there's no bass player here, because it's like when you know someone else is soloing, it's like a walking bass, you know, walking bass situation. I'm like laser focused on the bass player, listening to them and making sure that my cymbal is like locked in with them, because I mean that's just important. But that was just one of the things that I love about jazz, is like when the bass player and the drummer start like comping and walking at the start of a solo, you know. Like I love how that sounds, you know. I'm trying to be relaxed, you know. I'm trying to play like whatever phrases I want with my left hand. I'm trying not to be too busy, which I'm not good at. Like I'm too busy, like period, the end. But I'm just kind of going for this loose driving, you know, and I realize those things are kind of in contradiction, but I stand by that, you know. I mean, kind of like a loose but driving swing thing, you know, and it depends on the tempo, you know. And that's just like like it's a whole other ball game playing this stuff slow. It's a whole other ball game playing this stuff fast. You know, that kind of eludes me. I'm not very good at like super up-tempo swinging. You know, there's a couple videos on YouTube I've seen. Will Kennedy has a great video on like up-tempo swing. John Robinson, Danny Gottlieb, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to say his name. He's got a great video on up-tempo swing. You know, and you know it's tricky because the faster you get with the swing stuff, you know, the kind of more in the 16th note direction you kind of get, you know, because instead of ding, 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 it's like ding, 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 you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, what subdivision are we playing? You know, and I want to say it doesn't matter. What matters is that it sounds good, it feels good to everyone else, and it's like swing it, you know? Point where it's like, sorry, I keep looking at my stick. This thing's going to break like any second. You know, you're playing what you want to play with your left hand. Like I'm basically improvising with my left hand that whole time. You know, ba 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 da ba got dum dum da 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 ba that's that ba do do ba that's that ba got dum da da ban got gong gong da 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 do da 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 do got in that's the ba do spa. You know, like that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to do with my left hand while the swing pattern's happening in a relaxed way. Like it's really challenging. It's something that as far as I'm concerned, there's no finish line to that. You know what I mean? Like you can get good at it, but you can always get better. You know, but the real test again, you guys, for this stuff is like get some of these play along records, you know, and play along and just listen. Don't think about drumming. Don't think about, you know, how my drumming is doing. And you have to like jazz music. Like this is some of the same stuff I said in that video, but like I like how I love jazz music, and over time there were tunes that I liked that when I listen to myself, I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to be this other thing, but do they share any characteristics? Like, is it swinging in the way that I wanted to swing based on these recordings that I like, you know? Marvin Smitty Smith is an amazing, I saw a show at some jazz club with him and my friend Frank Fontaine was playing sax. Where was it? I forget where it was. Anyway, he's one of these, he's like a jazz master. Check out Smitty Smith, like any style, and like having fun the whole time. That's the other thing, is like, you know, people don't realize that like the energy that you output, of course it's gonna affect the music. Of course. You know, even though you're not talking, it's like your demeanor, you know, is it positive? Is it intense? You know, everyone's got like a vibe on stage, and people don't realize that, you know what I mean? And of course that's going to contribute to a live show if all you're doing is just watching guys play. You know, there's a bass player named Jimmy Earl, who I really like. That guy, he's intense. You watch him play, he's one of these bass players that's like always licking his fingers, and he's got like this beady, like he's always like Eye of the Tiger, you know, like it's great energy. I love that kind of stuff. And Smitty's always smiling. I love like his positive vibe when he's playing. He's having fun, you know what I mean? It's like Eddie Van Halen, you know, like always smiling, getting joy out of the instrument, you know. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'm just trying to share things that I'm thinking about when I'm working on the swing stuff, you know. And on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist that's just performances. It's not like soloing or instructional stuff. And there's a couple play along things in there. One of them is definitely swing. So check that out, and if you have any questions about that, you know, hit me up. All right, that was swing drumming. Let's see what else people are talking about. Oh, the plug keeps coming out. My name's Steve Holmes. Thanks for hanging out. We're streaming live from North Hollywood. What we're doing is the lo-fi stream. We're playing drums. We're talking about drums. We're answering questions about drumming. Man, it's late. It's like 4:45. We should wrap it up soon. The North Room with $5 donation. Thank you very much, the North Room. Really appreciate it. North Room says, long overdue back payment for my 2009 houseofdrumming.com form of membership. Playing still sounds great. Any recordings new or old to plug? Says Pete. You're looking at it, Pete. This is what I'm plugging. This is what we're doing, the YouTube channel. Thank you for the donation. Oh, Joshua Enlish, $3.99. Thank you so much, Joshua. Appreciate it very much. Anyone else interested in supporting, hit that sticker, the super sticker. Let's see, another donation, WeldTech111 with the donation. Thank you very much, WeldTech111. Go and practice with the $5. Oh, dude, this is it, you guys. I'm like the old man on the corner with the little tip cup there, except the digital version. Oh man, really appreciate it. My connection's like going in and out here. All right. Welcome to another stream of watching someone look at their laptop. My name is Steve Holmes. This is my laptop, and you're looking at me. Look at it. Let's see. The chat's not showing up because. Let's see, we've got 50 people watching right now. Crazy. If you're a drummer, raise your hand. Oh, I see you. I see folks raising their hands. Somebody's singing in the bathroom again. All right, we'll catch up on comments here if I can get a decent connection. And then we'll play some more, okay? Okay, let's see, Tim Wilson, here's a truism. Drummers who change from one thing to another are always biased towards the other. If I play nothing but double traditional for a month, and at the end of my month I play double traditional, it's better than my match. It's possible. Jay Gee, sharing his thoughts on traditional grip. Let's see, excellent advice. Will P says Greg Hutchinson. I agree, Greg is amazing. You guys are talking about traditional grip. I would love to hear that monster big band Tsunami with a cranked Fender Jazz bass. You also have guys like Thomas Lang. All right, you guys are talking about technique and traditional grip. I only tune in to watch your laptop. All right, well, you're in luck since that's, that's what I'm doing right now. Let's see. Better watching someone stream, looking at the laptop, glaring into the camera. That's true. We all hate people looking into the camera. All right, I think I'm caught up on comments. Hey, Steve, can you give advice about evening out bass drum doubles? My second stroke always ends up being unintentionally accented, which can be okay for A1, but, oh, I see. But when one E, I don't want to accent E. Man, that's an interesting one. Julian's has any update on the Vinny interview? Someone reached out to Vinny because I told him I wanted to interview him. And that's most likely not going to happen because I don't think Vinny wants it to stay online. I think he wants it to be like a one live thing and that's it, like, and not like leave it up. And I don't know if I want to do that. We'll see. But Joshua gave a donation and he asked a question about doubles with the feet. I don't know if I can help you with that, Joshua. I mean, because I think maybe I do the thing that you're saying you don't want to do, which is when I play a double with my foot, when I play a double with my foot, the second one tends to be, maybe a little louder, boom, as opposed to ba-ba, But I mean, if I back off, if I try to play at a lower volume, I think that might even out the volume, It depends on the groove, like if there's a particular groove that you want to not do that in, then you just gotta sit on that groove and just practice that groove at slower tempos, or at least at a tempo where you have control over that volume, It's funny because the answer to most questions, how do I do this, how do I do that? It's like, well, you just gotta practice it, And I hate to be that guy, but this is one of those times, I mean, I always say, like, if you have something that's weak, like a weak double with your hands, or a weak double with your foot in this case, or a too strong double, actually more specifically, then I would just play that over and over again. I would just do like single hand double foot, Maybe play the foot louder than the hand, but make sure both strokes are even volume-wise, because that's what you're going for, right? Or maybe you can attack the problem by doing the inverse, like try to accent the first stroke. I would experiment with different positions on my foot, like I would push my foot up that footboard, down on the footboard, trying to find a place maybe where it accommodates what I'm trying to do, that delta or that difference between stroke 1 and stroke 2, like it's not that much, you know what I mean? That seems like kind of like an odd problem to work on unless it's really exaggerated on your end. If you're like, boom, you know what I mean? Then yeah, you got to work on it, you know what I mean? But I mean, for doubles with the feet, like I would just, you know, play a groove and like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know, like. That kind of stuff, you know, or just improvise, you know? The first time I heard somebody do that, like a quick double with their foot, is an old Yes song called Our Song. It's a ballad, and Alan White plays drums. And on the chorus, he's like this. He's like, I was like, whoa, what is this? And then I kind of worked on it and got it happening, but that was my introduction to that stuff. But there's so many feet, like wizards out there, guys like Virgil and stuff, and it's like, you know, another cheat you can do, Joshua, is just play with, if you have a double pedal, just use 2 feet, you know? If you're having issues with one stroke being louder than the other, then use both feet and try to keep them even, you know? Like, I'm using both feet now, like hand, right, left, like... And switch to just 1 foot. You know, that kind of thing, you know? Or just do the old exercise where it's like, you know, the dotted 8th phrase with the foot, you know? Da-das, 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 da-das. Take a look at your foot while you're practicing, like watch it and see what it's doing. See if you notice like what your foot looks like when it's doing the thing you don't want to do, and change it, you know, and try to notice, like, once you do it correctly, like look at where your foot is and be like, oh, that's how I do that thing, and just literally muscle memory, like teach it to yourself, you know. All right, that's my bass drum. That's my double 2-note bass drum advice. All right. Virgil's the master of that stuff. He talks about that on his power drumming video. I don't know if you totally agree with that. Okay, well, you guys are having your own little discussion there. I'm not getting involved. What do I think about Tommy Igoe? Tommy's a great drummer. He can definitely play drums, and he's got a good teaching thing going. Are you playing Heel Up? You know, on stream number 2, Jay, I actually took my phone and I showed what my foot was doing, and I can't do that now because it's on like a tripod and I don't want to like wrestle with the camera. But yes, short answer, yes, I play with Heel Up. My foot is kind of like, it's kind of like if this is the pedal, my foot is almost like to the side, right? Like this is my foot, this is the pedal. It's not my foot. My foot isn't like square on the pedal. It's almost to the side, and my heel is up, right? That's my basic foot position. Let's see. Make sure you raise your eyebrows every accent and note. That's very important information. Let's see. Emphasis. So Grumpy. Did we talk about Grumpy already? Grumpy left a donation for $5. Thank you very much, Grumpy. What's your opinion on resting the stick on the cuticle rather than further back into the hand? Video yourself taking bass drums. Oh yeah, videoing yourself is always helpful. Traditional player, it's funny to see people asking me why I choose this way. See, the Heel Up question was for John Robinson. Tried diagnosis doubles. Oh, I see. John Robinson. I feel like we talked a lot about feet. Joshua gave a donation, and I wanted to address his question. I feel like we did that. Bass drum doubles. I hope that helps, Joshua. Let me know. Let's see. Everyone else is trying to answer Joshua's question. That's good, because you probably have better advice than I can give. Let's see, the Heel Up question. Okay, try to play is funny. Yes, okay, so I feel like I'm caught up with comments. So I think I'm just gonna play a little bit more, and then we're gonna call it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Tim Wilson, not John Robinson. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see. Grumpy made a donation. He has a question. Hey, Steve, have you ever heard of Jorgen Ingmar? He's the drummer for Elevation, a YouTube tribute band. I have not heard of him. Sorry, Grumpy. I appreciate your donation, though. If you ask another question, I'll try to answer it. All right. We're going to give Grumpy a minute to ask a question since he made a donation. Wait, no, I'm confused. Jake Yee, you're going back and forth here. I've lost track of the conversation, buddy. Cheers. How many people do we got now? 40, 50, 20, 50. That's not nothing. We're having a little internet drum clinic here from North Hollywood. This is fun. I have fun doing this. Let's see, what else? Grumpy says, appreciate the cheers. Okay. All right, let's play some more. We have fun watching, says Brian Donald. Okay. Get to watch me play the same stuff over and over, basically. One of these sticks is going to break. I think I'm going to switch here to... I need to get some sticks, too. 4, 6, 8. Oh no, 3, 3, 4 to 6, 8. 3, 4 to 6, 8. 6, 8 to 4, 4. 6, 8 to 4, 4. Stay in 4. Go back to 6. Go back to 3 from 6. There's an old video I have that talks about that. I love that. I love that whole formula. Maybe we'll talk more about that next time. Woo! All right. I think we're going to wrap it up here soon, guys. My name is Steve Holmes. We're doing the lo-fi stream from North Hollywood on my iPhone. All right. Ooh, someone has a message redacted. Sexy. Let's see. Appreciate the time. Cheers. This is Tree. Have fun watching. Quintuplets. Yes, I was messing around with 5/2 and orchestrating 5/2. And once you start accenting every other one, you're accenting 5/4. And I'm still trying to like surf that wave, you know. That's what, well, Go and Practice says 5 notes spaced even with a quarter note. That's a quintuplet. I was doing 5 against 2, but you're both right. Lauren L. Lewis. Sounds familiar, but I'm not intimately familiar with this stuff. Humming Tower Power tunes to play. Yeah, I was humming some stuff, but not Tower of Power. Let's see. Don't let that laptop fall. Yeah, it's a good thing it didn't. Let's see, I might be in the minority, but actually I like watching Steve work on individual things. He's weaker rather than random soloing. Yeah, I was doing a lot of that earlier. I embarrassed myself at the beginning of the stream playing a samba, and I tried to like slow it down and get the suck out, and I barely. I'm probably going to delete this actually, so if anyone wants to, you know, watch this later, you should probably find a way to record it. Great stream, thanks for doing this. See you next time. Thank you, Go and Practice. I have a feeling he's going to go and practice. But seriously, check out his channel. He's got a great series of books. Okay. I think that's it. We're going to call it. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. My name's Steve Holmes. Anyone interested in supporting the channel, you can click the super sticker, the super comment there, and we're supporting that way. We don't have a Patreon or anything at this point. So that's what we're doing. Thanks for hanging out, folks. We might do this next weekend. I got some stuff coming up, and so I haven't been scheduling these because I don't want to commit to a time and then I can't do it. So, but you know, suffice it to say, Saturday or Sunday, I'm usually in here and we're having some fun. All right. Thanks for hanging out, folks.